What's up, guys? Out here at Emmitsburg Disc Golf Course in Emmitsburg, Maryland. This course has short and long tees, so today I'm playing the long tees, which I think my best ever is a 5 over, so we'll see if I can beat that today. It's a fairly wooded course with tight lines. There's, I think, 3 holes on the front 9 that are more in the open, but otherwise it's just a track all the way through the woods. The course is maintained by Fredrock Disc Golf Club, so shout out to them because they do a great job with all the courses out here. Emmitsburg, Woodsboro, all the Frederick courses. They do a great job maintaining those. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. Hole 1 here, 384 feet. It's pretty straight down there. The first about 200 feet is wide open, and then it pushes for the last 180 through the trees down into the woods with the basket right there at the end. So something pretty flat with a little bit of finish at the end. Kind of just get maybe 50 feet into that woods, upshot, take a par. A little short, but right in the middle. Left this shot quite a bit short, but made it other side of this little walking path here. About 150-foot little upshot. See if we can get something close. Ooh. Hit that tree in off here on the right-hand side. Ideally, that's why you want to be up in here a little further on the tee shot so that it's a easier upshot, because you do have quite a few little trees around here that you can get caught up in. Not really much from here, but see if we can get something out to the basket. That'll work. Taking a 4 on this hole, which is fine. There's a lot more 4s on this hole than what you would think. It's not that bad of a hole, but it's just a little tricky on the drive and the upshot. Hole 2, 400 feet, it's a par 4. It's pretty straight for about the first 200 feet, and then dog legs diagonally down to the right for the second 200 feet. For me, it's usually just a little forehand here, try to get it 200, 250 feet down there, and then 150-foot upshot. There are some trees around the basket that can be a little tricky on the upshot to get through, but we'll see how they look when we get down there. Ended up hitting a tree and kicked down here to the right. Still not too bad. I can get something out to the fairway. In the spring and summer, you definitely don't want to be off to the right because this is real thick. And first, you'll have trouble finding the disc. Second, you'll have no shot out of here. But have something, get back to the middle, and hopefully take a 4. Your ideal landing zone off the tee is somewhere in here, about 280 feet off the tee, 150-foot upshot, and then just filter through some of these trees that are up here. Made it through that rough and back off here to the left side of the fairway. 120-foot upshot. See if we can throw something straight for once. Nice little 24-foot tester for par. Hole 3, 294 feet. This is just opposite of the last hole, so straight down there and the basket's off to the left. For a backhand hyzer, just push something about 250 feet and let it crash in there at the end. There's a bunch of little like pencil trees down there that get in the way quite a bit, but just something straight out the gap and see what happens. Just kind of fluffed that shot out here, off here on the left-hand side. There's a little bit of a forehand gap, so see if we can get something close. All right, not great. A bit of a mess out of this hole, but at least now you know none of the videos are edited or second takes. 28-foot putt for birdie. Wow. All right, putt for 5. As you can see, at least through here, this course doesn't drain very well. It used to be a lot worse and they've done some stuff to it, but we probably haven't had rain for about a week. And it's still pooling water some places and pretty soft walking between holes. Hole 4, 329 feet, one of the few open holes out here on this course. It's basically straight along this woods line down there on the right hand side. This tree is not a mando, but usually it's a backhand turnover, get it to drift over and hopefully finish close to the basket. The only out of bounds is this baseball field, and hopefully you don't end up in that, but 329 feet, backhand turnover, see if we can get it down there. Not high enough. Right idea though. Got down here pin high just off to the left. I forgot to mention on the tee, the creek that's back here, or the pond that's back here, does play out of bounds. There's flags that line that. Some tournaments do play the woods on the right as out of bounds. Most of the recent ones haven't, but it's also something to think about. Probably 60 feet here. Most likely end up in a layup. Yep. All right, finally got a par. Still 4 over through 4 though. See if we can pull some back here. Hole 5 here, 266 feet, par 3. Probably about 10 feet downhill. Just dead straight. Throw something straight and just slide it up there under the basket. There's 2 pine trees that are on either side of the basket there. Something short can usually just slide up between those, or you can try to hyzer something a little bit on the right hand side and get it to crash in there on the left. It'll be a putt. Ended up here a little bit short and under one of these pine trees. See if we can straddle out, have a look at it. Right height. Another par, which I'll take at this point. Hole 6, 217 feet. This whole area here is a pond, which is out of bounds. It's probably kind of hard to see from that angle, but for about 200 feet, it's all a pond, and then the basket's about 20 feet off the pond in that outcrop of pine trees up there. So there is a backhand, you can just throw it wide, hope it crashes through the trees, throw a forehand. It's really dealer's choice on this one. I like throwing the tomahawk and just getting it about across the lake or pond, and then hopefully have like a 28 or 30 foot putt up there. We'll see, that might be short. Ended up not making it across the pond, but it looks like there's 2 flags here that they've used for drop zone for tournaments in the past, so I'll just play from those. See if we can make a real long one for a par save. Hole 5, 224 feet, straight out this little gap, and then pretty wide open once you get down there. There's that one pine tree just to the left of the basket, but otherwise something nice and flat and straight, or a little bit of hyzer. Get it to turn in there at the end. See if we can pick a stroke back up here. Pretty good shot down here to 10 feet. Still 4 over, I think. Hole 8, 240 feet. pretty straight down there, dogleg off to the right a little bit at the end. There is a pond on this right-hand side that you can't go in or you're out of bounds. So just pushing a forehand straight and then crashing over those last 20 feet or so. There is one little pine tree here on the edge that you either need to go left of or sneak through between that and the pond. Otherwise, it's just a pretty stock forehand. That should be decent. Another drive to about 10 feet. I think I ended up hitting these trees up here and just dropping straight down. Hole 9, 268 feet. It's pretty much halfway straight and then halfway up to the left. So it's something on a big hyzer backhand high and hopefully get it to crash over. It's a really tricky birdie. You just want to make sure you're nowhere on the left-hand side because it's all just really small trees that are pretty much impossible to get out from. So nice wide hyzer, get it to crash in. Par is a decent score on this hole. Kind of like that. This is that left-hand side. If you hyzer early, you just get stuck in there somewhere and it's really hard to get even back out to the fairway. Pretty ideal tee shot here. Probably 50 feet to go, but here in the middle of the fairway and no trees in the way, so pretty ideal. Right height again. All right, and that is the front 9 of Emmitsburg long tees. I think we're 3 over now. Picked up a couple birdies there at the end and a rough, probably first 5 holes. We'll see if we can clean it up on the back. The front is definitely more scoreable, I think. The back's more wooded and tight, but we'll see if we can pick some up.